Hi, this is Andrea. I would like to share with you a dream that I had last night and place a perspective on the dream. So this dream I have quite often. The dream is again sexual in nature, and this dream specifically is as follows. Wherever I am, let's say I'm here on the farm, or I could even be going out, like sometimes in the dream I go out with friends to like a party, or to this big building that like consists of multiple floors, and this entire building is, for example, like a club where on every floor you'll have a different event happening, or like lounges with chairs where people can go and hang out and music playing and whatever. But it's like these dark dingy buildings like you see in the movies. Or as I said, it'll be just specifically here on the farm where I'm living. And in this dream, what will happen is all of a sudden I'll become very sexually aroused, and I will look around the room and I will see a male, and it's never a male that I know. It's just I'll spot a male that looks um, as if it's somebody that could have sex with me. In other words, he's got two legs, arms, and there's nothing much else about the person other than they have a physical body. And I point at this person, or I will look at this guy, and then within my mind, in the dream, I'll think to myself, I want that guy to become obsessed with me and chase me around and then have sex with me. And it's interesting, I've actually discussed this dream with a few people, and they admit that they have the same dream. And so what happens then is, this guy, as I have this thought, this guy will look up and he will come after me and have sex with me. And then this entire dream will be focused around the point of this person chasing me, which is so much fun, and I really enjoy that in the dream, which is actually something that I do enjoy. But specifically in the dream, I really enjoy that point, and the entire dream plays out where no matter where I go, there is this guy that is basically stalking me and hunting me down, and then will have sex with me, and then we'll go off, and then 2 minutes later I'll be walking through a different part of the building or the farm or whatever, and then I'll spot this guy, then I'll run for cover into a building, but it's always in privacy, in a room, and or in a dark little like storeroom or something, and then the guy will go in after me and have sex with me. And it's like a big thrill, because it's like in that moment I'm experiencing this point of being able to have sex and all of that. So analyzing the dream today, I've basically looked at what does this dream mean, what is this dream saying to me. So we looked at the point of who is the guy that comes after me. It's never a specific guy. It's always a stranger. It's somebody that's here, or it's somebody that's in this place that I see this person, and then I go, okay. It's like the thought moves really fast. Okay, he's acceptable, or okay, it'll be him, and then the game starts. So it's basically, I'm understanding from this point that the point here is about the sexual gratification point, that it's a physical release that I would like to have in that moment, and that is my complete focus. And the male represents basically just the person who can have sex with me. And it's interesting because when the sexual interaction happens, I don't even experience the intercourse. I just experience the male presence, and him pleasing me, and then I have an orgasm. And what was interesting is I've been practicing the breath orgasm, which I will also do vlogs about. However, in this dream, why I want to mention this point is because in the dream I wouldn't say my first, but I don't usually when I have these kind of dreams have orgasms. It like builds up as if it feels like there's going to be an orgasm, but there isn't. And then last night I actually had an actual orgasm in my sleep. It was awesome. And at the same time had the breath orgasm, which is really very cool, meaning if you've listened to the breath orgasms done by Bernard Pullman, where he explains that you go and focus on where there's a buildup of energy in your body, which will either show itself as physical pain or a discomfort point, and then through the out breath, you will basically push that energetic point so that it releases through the entire physical. So what happened, I've been practicing that point for the last few weeks since he did those recordings, and last night as I had my orgasm in the dream, at the same time, I was having an orgasm, but at the same time I was having the breath orgasm, which means that as I was orgasming, my whole physical like squeezed itself and all this energy discharged right through my body, and I had like I almost experienced it like a electrical shock that like goes through the physical like that, and then leaves you like buzzing, and like all your cells are like buzzing because there's this discharge that happened of energy through the physical. So that happened in the dream, and that was one of the interesting points that I became aware of, which has changed with regards to my sexual dreams. But then the other point that I became aware of was that the focal point of the dream was the male character was just there as a character, and he was played an instrumental role in me having my orgasm, and I had the orgasm. And then it's basically, if I look at now at the parts of the dream that I'm able to break down, that would be the first part. The second part was that I felt very sneaky about the whole thing. I mean, I was in my dream, there were other people here on the farm around me, I was interacting with them, and then all of a sudden I would feel like, oh, wait, I feel like I want to experience a sexual release, and then I would walk away and I would go to my little room, and then I would, with my mind, you could say, summon this guy, or in the dream you can make things happen, and then this guy would come chasing me into the room and then have sex with me. But I felt very sneaky about it, which is very interesting because my experience towards masturbation is still coming from these 2 points, which I noticed yesterday when I masturbated, because I experience myself either being extremely bored with masturbation and doing it more from a point of a physical release point. But when I do masturbate, mostly from the point of I'm enjoying it and this is what I would like to do, I feel sneaky. Like it's something that we all go and do in our rooms, and we masturbate, and it's this thing that we do. And we don't discuss it, nobody talks about it, and it's your secret little thing that you went into your room and you did it. And even people are in agreement, it's their little thing that they go into their room and do it. Obviously, it would be rather awkward if we did it just there in front of each other. So I'm not saying that it's something that at this point we should be doing in front of each other necessarily, but what I'm saying is the mindset that myself in particular I'm experiencing around the point is I either experience it as a drag, like, oh, I have to go masturbate now. I experience a physical build-up, which I have to release to masturbating, or if the breath orgasm at this point I feel is not sufficient, I'm not releasing all the points, then I will work with masturbation. However, I do, especially if I'm enjoying the point, there's still the morality point coming in of I'm being sneaky now. Ooh, could I do this? It's the middle of the day. There's still that point. It's still the middle of the day. Could I do it in the middle of the day? Or I'm working now. I want to go masturbate. Is that being sneaky? So that was the one point is the guilt point of feeling guilty about masturbating.